sorry about that. Phone rang. So I tend to try to do things that are vintage, or, I sell a little bit of everything. So if you go to my eBay store, and I primarily sell on eBay, but I occasionally will have a bulk lot of something that I might bring it to Whatnot because I'll move it faster that way. So that, it's there's good things and bad things in for everything. But today we're doing a haul video. So if you check out my videos, I have things that are brand videos. I kind of talk about some brands that are out there. I'm gearing up to do one of those probably again soon. I do have some videos from a while back where I would go out and take you with me while I source for things. That's hard for me because it's just me, and I have to look things up on my phone and then use my phone. And I'm not buying a GoPro because I don't do enough of it. It's just too expensive for me to do that, and I'm not doing this full time. So, and I don't do YouTube to be monetized necessarily, but I do it to just share some information and to show some things because I think it's helpful. And I watch other resellers, and it helped me when I was first starting out. So you do learn things about what to look for, what things sell for, and things like that. So I do like the haul videos, and I also do what sold videos to show you that I'm not just talking out the side of my face. Because there's YouTubers out there that are doing reselling, and they're doing all different kinds of reselling. Some people only do clothes. Some people have been doing it a long time. Some people have been doing it a very short time. Actually, there's a new girl out there that just started and did her second video so far. So, and we have people that started doing things on eBay and have transitioned to doing these bigger sell, like closeout selling, and doing a whole bunch of sales on Whatnot, and that they've changed their way they're doing things completely. And for people that were watching them because they liked the content they were doing before, because they were selling things on eBay and looking for higher dollar things and doing a kind of different thing and willing to wait out the sale a little bit longer, are now seeing a whole different format and a whole different way of buying and selling, and that can be frustrating for people. But I think that's why it's important, because there's people that want to do it that way, that want to do storage units. I'm too old to do a storage unit, and I'm sorry, I don't relish the idea of paying for the great courtesy of cleaning out somebody's crap from their storage unit. And as much as there can be treasure to be found, and I do understand that, there's a lot of work and time involved in doing it. You have to have the space to store a lot of stuff. You have to throw a lot of crap away, and you have to go through a lot of things that are unpleasant to go through. None of that appeals to me at all. None. I get the people that trash pick too, or dumpster dive, and there's people that love to watch that content. There's no way in heck, first of all, forget the fact that getting in and out of a dumpster would be literally the physical impossibility of the century, but would be fun to watch, I'm sure. At the same time, ew, like, I don't care what's in there. If there was like an Hermes purse, maybe we would get a ladder, we'd work that out. But the idea that I'm going in there for some stuff from Big Lots, which isn't around anymore, or from Sephora, no, I'm not. I'm just not. I don't wanna. I get there's value, but I don't wanna. So I don't want to clean out storage units and throw away piles of crap, and have to do that and put down a deposit to clean up somebody else's mess. None of that appeals to me at all. Now, if I was younger, maybe, but it doesn't appeal to me. So, but I'm just saying, there's lots of different ways to do it, and that's why it's important to have different things. So for people that are doing eBay and are willing to wait out and figure out what sells fast and what sells takes longer, and understand the storage dynamics and all those things, and I am going to do a video, I think, coming up soon about, and it actually may come out before this one does, because this is down the list of things I'm doing, because I tend to record these videos kind of in a group as I bring things in. I do a whole bunch of them, which is great, good for you, and it makes it easy for me. I'll just take a nap, like a couple hours, excuse me, and I'll go through and I will kick out a few videos, and then I just, I put them up every Wednesday. I'll put up a new video, but the videos, some of them are weeks ago, so that gives me time to get things listed. So sometimes by the time you see it, the stuff is listed. Sometimes it's not. Depends on how it. Like I said, I'm part-time, so it's totally on how quickly things go. And I'm trying to get a lot of things listed right now because fourth quarter's coming, Christmas is coming, and things are going to start moving quickly then. I'm also thinking I might do a whatnot show with some Christmas ornaments. I have a great deal of them. And I know they'll sell during the Christmas season, some of them, but I think that we're talking about moving, so I think that it might be wise to kind of take some of the smaller things to whatnot to move them along because they have a lower price point, and I have jewelry too. And the lower price point, it would be quicker to like do it there. And even though I don't stand to make as much money, at the same time, I won't have to pack it or unpack it. So there's that. So there's a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of things in my thought process. But you have to, you have to understand the ins and outs of things when you're doing this. And there's lots of ins and outs, and there's lots of things that I didn't know when I started doing this as a business that I kind of wished I knew. But I'm always good with like inventory control and things, and I have come up with some really good things that work for me that might work for other people. So I think I'm going to do something to share some of that information because everybody chooses to do things differently. I'm just not the trusting sort, okay? Like there are people that just put it all into eBay and trust them to keep records. No, I'm not that trusting of anybody. I want to have my own records that I can compare to what they have, but like there's other things, and it's not just fees and stuff that comes out. I have to consider my cost of goods. There's depreciation, so I really should keep track of what I buy, what I pay for it, when I bought it. That's important stuff to keep track of, and you really can do all that successfully in the eBay system, although they have changed some things and made it better. And I do keep track of what they're doing all the time, just because it's helpful to know. Some of it's helpful, some of it's not to me, but it could be to other people. And everybody's got to do what works for them, and not everybody's great at keeping those kind of records. But honestly, for tax purposes and things like that, the better you are at keeping records, the better it'll be for you when you have to pay taxes, and those things matter. So anyway, so today's haul is the remnants of some things I picked up when at the, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going down to the floor because my dog, some of you met Olive before, but she's always got to be right where I am, wherever I am. She just got up to move to prove, now I'm not needy, I don't have to be right there, but I like being there. So these are some things I picked up at the little thrift store, and some things I picked up, I believe, at the flea market my daughter and I went to a couple weeks ago, which was fun. It was very hot that day, but it was fun. So we're going to do those. So the first thing we're going to start with is this is Villeroy and Bach. It's called Lucia's Choir, I think. It's a candle holder. And I don't know if you can see. Oh, there, we'll get rid of some of that glare. He looks like a little clown. I think there's a female version of this as well, but he is new in the box. I paid, it says $3, which means I paid $1.50 because it would have been on half price day. So probably $15 to $20. I don't think it was anything huge. I did look it up before I bought it, but that was a few weeks ago, so I don't remember. But I don't think it was tons of money, but it'll work out. So I picked this up at the expensive thrift store, and it was $2.49, which means I probably got 25% off because I only go there usually on Tuesdays, although I think I might go there tomorrow, which is Saturday, just to do some clothes snooping, just out of curiosity. But anyway, this is Gerber. It still has the tags on it, as you can see. It has a sweet little pink bunny rabbit. It's a knit blanket. It has a cute lace edge. It's darling. So again, I'm thinking it's like $15 to $20 or in thereabouts. I do, for those that haven't watched before, I pop up the prices in the corner here after I've looked them up and when I edit the video. So you'll see the actual what it sold for on eBay most recently, should I be able to find it. Now there are things that I buy sometimes that are crazy unicorn things that I don't know what it is, like I figure out what it is, but I don't know what it's sold for because there's none listed, or there's none that's sold in the last 10 years. I have WorthPoint. It's not a plug for them. I do pay for it, but that'll show you up to 10 years of things, what they've listed for and sold over 10 years on various different platforms, including some auction sites. So at least you have an idea, but sometimes things are just super rare. So in the case of super rare, very weird things, I recently found, and it's in another video, a Philly Fanatic plush that had like the wrong tags on it. Simply, it had Disney tags on it and Mattel tags, I think. And that's none of those things are true about the Philly Fanatic. And I have another plush that's exactly the same that has the Melon Bank from the time that that was made and the actual people that made the plush for Melon Bank for the event that they were giving out at, and it wasn't Disney and it wasn't Mattel. So it's a wrong tag on it. So it's completely wrong. It's a tag error. And there's none. There's literally none. So there was one weird sewn backwards thing, and I kind of jumped off the area of that, which was around $900 to $1,000, and went in at around 800. Put it up for auction. Nobody went, so now it's listed for that, and I'll wait and see what happens because there's none. There's just none. And you list it high and you wait, or you put it on auction high and you wait, and that's what you have to do. And I can juggle the price later or look at offers at some point, but it's an obscure thing, so it's going to take a while. But it's little, so it'll take a while. That's fine. I'll wait it out. So this was $5 at the, I think this was at the little thrift store, so probably half price. And it has this H and a number on the bottom, and I believe that this is Hull Pottery, but it could be Hall Pottery because they're both, like, it's Hull, Hull, and there's Hall, Hall. They're a bit different, but this is a striped vase, and I did see one online, and I think it went for like $30. So, and I do think it was Hull, but I did find two of that same brand, whichever it was. And I like pottery. Pottery does not sell quickly. So if you're looking for things to move quickly, don't buy pottery because it does not move quickly. That said, if you like pottery and you have the space to store it, it does sell for good money sometimes, and especially some of the name brand stuff. So it's worth looking for, but you got to always look it up because not everything is created equal. Just because it's signed doesn't mean it's going to sell. You got to know the difference between the stuff that's signed by an artist and the stuff that's signed by a guy that made it in 12th grade. So not that that's always bad, but it's very different. So you just need to know, and sometimes it's not easy to tell. There's different sites with marks and things on it that can tell you things, but lots of times the marks aren't there. So you know you're constantly on the hunt for information. So it's time consuming, but you know, I like artsy stuff, so it's just what I like. It's what I gravitate to. There's value in it, so that's fine. So this is a La Bien angel ball. It's got 3 or 4 angels on it, maybe 4 angels. 4 angels, I think, on it. I have 3 of these. And it has the date of 2005, so they are vintage. They were sold, I believe, at Pier 1. It comes with their little velvet boxes, which are in pretty good condition as well. So when I bought these, though, and I got these at the little thrift store, and I think I want to say I paid $1 for them. This one, oh, this one actually has the thing in it. Oh, look at that. All right, well, I can fix that. But you'll notice this is the real top. This is the not real top. Now, maybe the rest of them did too, and I didn't see them, but this was not in the ball when I bought it. None of them had the tops on them. So I had found another group of balls and that were cheap. I think like 99 cents for like 6 of them or something. And I took the tops off of them and put them on here. And I would just disclose it's not got the original top on them. It's fine. This one actually has a top in it, so I will replace it and put the real top on it and then separate them from the group. However, I considered, was it worth it? Was it worth the time? Was it worth the effort? And I knew that it wouldn't be so difficult, honestly, to find. I have to glue this back on. The information, like a topper, like a gold topper for a ball, and it probably would matter very little to someone that likes the ornament if the topper wasn't the original topper. You might drop the value a little bit, a few cents here or there, but honestly, these probably sell for, depending on the pattern, again, everything is relevant, and I'll pop it up here, but probably in the $10 to $12 area generally. So still at $1, I'm making, 10 times what I made, even with the couple cents for the topper thrown in. So it's still good for me. And like I said, I got several of these. I'm just seeing now that I did that are there tops in all the bottoms of it? No, this does not have a top in the bottom of it. So I did replace them with somebody else's top, so they're not original to the piece. But like I said, that probably doesn't matter much in the long game. So this I picked up at the little estate sale, flea market that I went to, and it's just a little box. It's very mid-century, certainly handmade. It's not signed, or if it had a sticker on it, the sticker's gone to time. It was $2, which I thought was pretty reasonable, so I picked it up, and I think I probably can get 15 for it, maybe a little more. Depends. Everything depends. So I'm sure I showed the grade. So I bought a bag at the expensive thrift store, I think for like $4. And it had this in it, and it had a thing of grapes in it, like stone grapes or marble grapes or whatever. And I bought it because I knew the grapes were worth more than $4. And I thought, this isn't probably worth a ton, but it's a nesting doll. It's Russian. It's got some wear. It's vintage, but there are, I think, 4 in here. So there's a bunch. Like there's that one, and then there's another one, I think. And there might be, no, and there's one more. So there's 5 of them, I believe. Which is good. The more there are, the better they are. And it's better if they're colorful. It's, you know, there's all different kinds, and it's nice if they sometimes are on theme. So this is a little, you know, it's imperfect. I'm going to put some, you know, oil on it to make the wood look nicer, because that'll help. But, and the same with the box, but probably $10-ish. But the stone grapes, which are already listed, and I might have shown them in another video because they're not here, but I'm not positive, but I think I did. They were actually jade. So they're listed quite a bit of money up there on eBay, and there are lots of people watching them, so we'll see what happens to those. But I figured they'd be worth maybe $30-40. They're worth probably double that. So that was interesting, but I wouldn't have thought jade. I really, actually, when I was looking them up, I kept finding them being called jade, and I'm thinking, seriously, jade, like real jade? And it does appear that way. So yeah. They're not like expensive jade, like, you know, the expensive, almost you can see through it, milky, pretty jade. It's like a celadon green stone jade, in a more rough kind of, you know, it's not carved and beautiful like some of the Asian jade is, but still jade, still cool, still interesting. I still thought that was good. So, let's see what else we got here. Ooh. So this is again, I found at the little thrift store. I do not think the lid goes with it, quite frankly. I haven't taken it apart yet. I should, but this is Deneen pottery. For those that know, you know. This was marked $4. I got it for $2. There's the Cornwall Inn on it. I don't know where that is. Usually it has the name of where the places are on them that get these. But this is going to be like the 4th one I found, or 5th one I found. I found 2 that were a bed and breakfast, I think in Maine. Massachusetts. Maine is MA is Massachusetts. In Massachusetts. And I found one that was a Santa Claus, like a Santa Claus one with the Broken Egg Cafe. If you're out there, Broken Egg, hi. I think that's a great name for a breakfast place. I like it. And your mugs are adorable with a Santa on them. And then this one is from the Cornwall Inn, which sounds like it should be in England, and might be, because I know there's a Cornwall in England, but it could be somewhere in New Jersey, and that would be cool too. So, okay, maybe the lid does go with it, because inside is stuff. Look. It's in Pennsylvania, Cornwall Inn. Coolness. And there's a hand-thrown coffee mug for sale. Expand your collection of Deneen pottery. So that's what it is. It's pretty cool. I like the drip glaze. It's like a burgundy color. And who knew that the lid is so interesting. I didn't know they made lids for them at all. Or I guess, I don't know. I'm baffled. I'll sew them together and be baffled about it. But that was interesting. And I guess maybe keeps your coffee warm. I don't know. I've never seen. It's so weird. It's like wider than the mug, but that's really interesting. All right. So there we go. We learned things. But the Deneen pottery, probably $30 to $40 on that mug. I know, a mug. Who would think it? I'm sorry, I keep going down into the bag, but my desk is full of things right now because I'm in the middle of working on multiple things, like listings, so it's just going to be what it is. But these are cool. These are Greek. They have some kind of yoga doing deer on them. I don't know what that's about, but they're in good condition and they have their little things. There's like a little bit on top, but not much, and I'm sure I can probably clean up some of it. So, and they have like something on them there that's like red, number 5 or something. So, I did look these up. There's nothing in them. I keep thinking they're, sometimes when you get them at the thrift store, they're filled. But these were from the flea market, and I want to say they were $2, and I'm sure I can probably get maybe 10 to 12 for them. These, however, were cool too. And I thought they were wood, which would have made them cooler, but they're plastic that looks like wood, but they're still very mid-century. 1975 is screaming at me from these, and there's a pepper and a salt. You can tell the pepper has a little black on it. They have their original stoppers, which is cool, and they come with this cool little metal stand. This is wood, the little handle, but they're very cool and very mid-century, and I love them. So I got them. They were $2 too. I'm going to say probably around the same amount of money, but could be a little bit more because they're very, very, very cool mid-century. Then I go again. So in these, I think might be candlesticks, or they could be vases. I don't know, but they're vintage. They were originally, they have $15 written on them. I'm sure that's not what I paid for them though. And they don't have a price on them. But as you can see, it's hand painted. It has your little wise man and some goats here, and it is by a Dwayne Black Horse. It says Navajo on here, 2002. So it is signed on the bottom, and I have 2 of them, but they're not identical, which is why I'm not sure they're candlesticks. They might just be bud vases, and they just might have 2 of them. I don't know, but it's by the same artist in the same style, but a different picture. And here we have mountains, and we have a horse and rider here. I don't know if you can see. It's a little more blue there, but here's a horse and rider, and it's just kind of sitting on his horse waiting. Because sometimes hunting is just about waiting. If you've ever hunted, you know what I mean. So those are just so cool, and this was also 2002. So I really don't know. I've never had like something artist signed. Sometimes the artist matters. Oh, sorry guys. Sometimes the artist matters. Some of the Native American artists are very famous for their work. Others less so. So it would really depend on the artist, and I will pop it up here. But I'm going to say, just generally speaking, $20 each. Generally. More if the artist is somebody profound. But so I paid $5 for this again at the little thing, and I want to say I didn't pay more than $5 for either of those, the little bud vase things. And this has got something on it that I can't make out, but as you can see, it's like a pottery piece. It's got gold leaf on it. It's very, very pretty. It's hand painted, and then this is like pewter. It's got a pewter encasement. And I think it's an ashtray because it has this here. So, but it's really pretty. My educated guess, $25, maybe. But could be less, could be more. Definitely vintage, which matters. So we'll have to see. We'll just have to see. So I wanted to show you something interesting. So in one of the videos that I recently did, I probably talked about these, but I picked up a set of pearls that my daughter found at the little, the expensive thrift shop. And I think we paid maybe $6 for them. And she picked them up and she said, Mom, wow, Mom, these are really heavy. And I said, well, that's A, because they're vintage. And I looked at them, and as you can see, they could look like freshwater pearls. And I said, that's probably because they're real. Nope, they're not real, Mom. They're in the thrift store. They're hanging on the not real section of the thrift store, by the way, because the expensive thrift store does pull the quote unquote good jewelry that they think is good. But this was hanging in the regular place, along with a Coro bracelet and a pair of sterling silver earrings, by the way. But so always look. But I said, well, you can tell if you rub them on your teeth. But I don't recommend you do that because we're in the thrift store A and B because you don't know where they were before they were here. And they're probably not really clean because they've been in bags and things. So, but you can take them and you can rub them together. And if it feels gritty and not smooth, then chances are really good that they're real. The other way you can tell, I told her, is look at the hole, which, by the way, they're gritty. If you look at the hole, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you, but when you look at the hole between the pearls, let's see if you can see, the hole is drilled, and the hole, when it's drilled, when it's plastic and painted, the paint peels up and it's rough around the edges. Real pearls, this does not happen to, A, because they're not painted, they're not going to peel the paint, but B, because it drills through the stone, or whatever you want to call this, the pearl, and it's smooth. It just leaves a smooth edge. It doesn't rough up, and it doesn't like catch and leave like strands of plastic. It turns to powder, and it's gone when they thread it. So this is both of those, and definitely they're real. So when I was getting ready to list it, there's no marking on here at all, but I checked it over really carefully because sometimes on real pearls, especially freshwater, this clasp will be sterling or gold, or gold plated, which this could have been. So I thought, well, let me look really carefully. Somewhere on here it might say 14 karat. It might say, gold plated. It might tell me something that's remotely helpful, which I did not see it. I even got new loops recently to double check because my vision's not that great. I'm old now. My vision's decent, but it's teeny. Like, even if you had decent vision, it's rough. So I decided, well, I'll ask to test it and see. And sure enough, the clasp is 14 karat. So my daughter liked to just have a conniption fit completely over that. So they're listed based on comps, I think around like 100 and maybe 200, 199, 189, something like that. Because the gold plated clasp adds a lot of value to them. Without that, they would just be kind of a few steps above, they're real, so they're a few steps above a really good, costume kind of piece. But the gold clasp changes it because it usually means it was made by somebody higher end and less costumey. So then that puts it into a different category, even though it's not marked. And chances are it was marked once upon a time. It probably had a string with a tag on it, or it came in a box, or it had like a sticker on it someplace that has been lost to time. So I don't know who made it, but they didn't stamp things on things or put things on the clasp all the times. And even if it was marked 14 karat, if it's, I think, from probably the late 50s, early 60s, because it's very Jacqueline Kennedy kind of thing, I'm going to guess that it just could have rubbed off from wear a little bit. I did mention in it that it could be gold plate, because I can't tell. It's not marked. It could just be gold plate, but the clasp, if it was gold plate due to the age, I would see some been showing through. There's no wear on that clasp showing anything coming through, like any silver or anything other than just gold, which is what made me test it. Because usually if it's gold plated, there's like some other metal on the creases of that would be kind of like there'd be a little silver showing through, or a little like a brassy color showing through, and there's nothing. There's just nothing. So I don't think it's plated even, which is wild, but it is what it is. So always test something if you're not sure, because it's not always marked. That's my message for you, because that made a big difference in the price for that. And I'm going to wrap this one up because we're at that almost 30-minute mark, and I do try to keep them in that area. So I thank you guys all for watching. If you like the content, please hit the thumbs up and let YouTube know that you like it. Also, leave a comment if you saw anything interesting or you know anything I don't know, because it's lots of times you guys do. Also, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. This lets YouTube share it out there with more people. So, you know, the more, and if you can share it out and you know somebody that would be interested or might like what I'm showing or sharing, or you see something you think might interest them, by all means, do that. Anything you see in these videos will show up eventually in my eBay store. And that is in my, like, if you go to Basket Case Mama Fab Finds and look into like our description or whatever that's called, like our information about the channel, quote, it has all the people that I follow is in there, their links, and my eBay store, as well as other information that you might want to know about us. So it's all there for you to check out and to go check out. And if you do buy something from me and you are, please message me and let me know you watch my channel, because that's always exciting too. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much again for watching. I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and I will catch you on the next one.